Hello all. I feel productive. I've gotten everything checked off my list today that I had checked off my list. This was my only day off this week, so I wanted to utilize it wisely. And I did. Checkaroos. Across the board. Something came to me just a minute ago on my ride home. I saw a video of Trump. I can't seem to find it now. I was going to play it. It blew my mind. I don't know how long ago it was. It probably was a while ago, but he was being interviewed, and the interviewer asked him if he had ever asked God, I don't know if it was God or Jesus, I think it was God, for forgiveness. And he couldn't answer the question. He pivoted. And he said that he goes to the Catholic Church, has been to Catholic Mass, and he's drank the wine. But that's the only time he drinks. He made sure to include that in his response. And he ate the cracker that they give him. That essentially was his response. He couldn't answer the question in reference to asking God or Jesus for forgiveness. That was a difficult answer for him to come up with. And it makes me think about him also mentioning how he doesn't think he's going to make it to heaven. He considered Air Force One heaven. And that was in an interview as well, or a question. And so I was thinking about this, and I thought to myself, it just popped in my head out of nowhere. And a lot of times when things do that, it generally is for a reason, I'm coming to realize. When you find yourself surrounded by people or in the presence of something like that, if people don't have the ability to ask for forgiveness, it's because they know what they have done. They know what they have done. That's what I've come to realize, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because there's always room for forgiveness. That's exactly why God sent his son to die on the cross. Jesus Christ. Christ is king. I know we have a lot of people in this world that consider themselves kings, and consider themselves very powerful people, and maybe in their reality they are, but at the end of the day, their reality doesn't trump God. It doesn't. Whether they believe in God or not, it still doesn't trump. It just doesn't. I mean, it just is what it is. And so it's one of those things. If you find yourself in a reality, in a circumstance, in a obstacle, in betrayal, in whatever it is you're looking for, and you're looking for people to ask for your forgiveness, and they're not asking for your forgiveness for whatever reason. And sometimes you're just not going to get that. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. And that's between them and God. It is between them and God. And it popped in my head because, unfortunately, when you start picking up on your own truth, your own mind, your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own voice, you really start to learn how to pick up on other people's and how they're choosing to use their voice and the words that are coming out of their mouth and what they're not saying and what they are saying. You can kind of read between those lines. You can pick up on those patterns. You can pick up on those synchronicities when you move and operate in your own mind, in your own body, in your own thoughts, in your own soul. And it's a hard truth. It is a very hard truth, particularly when you open your eyes to recognize that we walk amongst people that have done such egregious things that they can't even ask for forgiveness because they know what they have done. And it's so hard for them. It's so hard for them to ask because that would mean that they have to accept accountability, and that is just not something they're willing to do. They're just not. And maybe one day they'll get to that place. We hope and pray for that. But you can't live your life waiting, because you might be waiting forever. You have to learn to forgive and let it go. Let it go in the reality of you may not get that. You may not get that closure. You may not get that validation. You may not get that understanding. You may not. You don't need it. You don't need it. So I hope this resonates. 100 years. One thing Valhalla said last night that I also thought about in the car was that Trump's family has gone back 100 years where nobody has served in the military. I thought about that and I was like, I didn't even know that was possible at this point in the venture. that you could have a family unit that goes back dated 100 years that nobody has served in the military. Like my grandfather served in the military, Jack, who was in that movie Mercy. Well, he wasn't in the movie, but his name. It was a very prominent name too. But yeah, he served in the military. And it's just crazy to me because I'm like, wow, 100 years, that's a long time. That's a long time to not have anybody in your family that served. I look forward to Barron changing that up for the trajectory of the Trump family. Since we're so big on this war thing, now's your time to shine. Now's your time to shine, baby. Let's see here. Borders and transplants. You know, I see it's so funny that we spend so much time talking about the borders and the transplants and the immigrants and all this stuff, but yet we're the ones in different ways going into these countries and creating all this chaos. Where are these people supposed to go? Where are these people supposed to go? Just out of curiosity. Did you just want to kill them all? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what we're running? Is that the high IQ outfit we're running here? I just want to make sure that I understand. I understand, okay? Because all these different people that talk about the immigrants and all this stuff, yeah, I get it, I understand it, but who are the ones that are implementing and creating chaos in their countries? We are. We're somehow involved in it in many different ways. So where might they go? Where are they supposed to go? Are they just supposed to die? Because we are America and we have the ability to decide who lives and dies. Because we're all God here, right? I just want to make sure I have a grand understanding of the adopted thinking that we all carry. I mean, this is how it just half backwards that we all are. And then we wonder why our country is just in the havoc of the nature that it's in right now. Based off the financial system, based off the judicial system, based off the law system, based off the economy, based off the stocks, based off the real estate, based off the food, based off the gases. I mean, based off everything. Then we wonder why we are where we're at. Well, look what we've been pouring out into this world. Hate, taking people's lives, taking innocent lives. For what? For power, money, greed, coercion, blackmail, hiding dirty secrets. That's all it stems from. That's it. Mainly money, power, and greed. And so, agree to disagree. This is my own thoughts, my own opinions, my beliefs. But this is where we're at. This is where we're at. We have to quit classifying immigrants and all this. Yeah, I understand it, but we also have to look at the big picture. Let's be smart here. Let's be smart. I know we are smart people. I know they want us to be dumb, but we are smart. We are very smart. We're very intelligent. So let's start acting like it. You know, there's nowhere for these people to go. You know? And it's like, what if they came into our country and did what we have done in different various parts of the world, of the globe? What if they came into the United States and did what we have done throughout the decades? Where what are we gonna do? We just gotta stay and we gotta take it like they are and then maybe die. Because that's basically what we're saying in different ways, in a very simplistic way. You know, agree to disagree. And of course we can say nukes and all this stuff, but again, who has been the only country to release a nuke? That would be the United States. So, we got that as well. So what other manipulative, diverting talking point are we gonna hit? What else? Like, come on now. Come on. We gotta stop. This is not going to end well for our generations to come, for our children's generation. It has to end with us, some way, shape, or form. And it will. The truth will come out. It just will. And so you can't bend truth, you can't bend reality. No matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much power you have, you cannot bend reality. You do not have control of reality. You just don't. You don't have control of the stars, the moon, and the sky. You don't. Nobody has control of that. And so it's one of those things. I love you. I hope you have a great day. I hope this video resonated. And I know that I have a lot of people fluffing. I'm sorry for that. I really am. I hate that part of it. I do. I don't like people to be fluffered. I want people to be happy. I want people to be at peace. I want people to quit going against each other. I want to quit with all the madness that we're all creating